We have with us uh, B.V. Rao, consulting editor, India Today Digital, and Mr. Praveen Thampi, editors, South India Today Digital. First of all, sir, what is your initial comment about the Telangana mandate?
It's pretty obvious. It's a very, very impressive victory for Congress. Well, the numbers are looking a little, yeah, what you call shaky because they're 64, they're going up to 67. Anything about 65, they'll feel stable. But if you look at it, that from 19 to 64, they've gained whatever the math is. It's phenomenal gain. So it's a very, very impressive victory. I'll park it there and get Thampi into it. So
I think the considering the parallel results that are happening from the north of the country with regard to the absolute decimation in the Hindi heartland, probably the leadership can take a lot of lessons from what happened in Telangana over the last 3 months, probably. Because just around like 3 months ago, Congress was not exactly a hot favorite. And forget that hot being a hot favorite. Most of the people used to think the fight is between BRS and BJP, but they came out of nowhere. Revant Reddy brought in some kind of new energy into the campaign, and most importantly, I think the last 1.5 months, the kind of social media and the other campaigns that Congress ran, where they had a very specific strategy of targeting the family, basically, the KCR, KTR, Kavita, and cartoons, memes, everything kind of completely making fun of the whole nepotism aspect. I think they kind of figured that that's the best place to attack the family, because Telangana in the development index, there is nothing much to kind of complain about, honestly.
I'll take up on that. What he said is very important. That the, the line of attack was the family, the KCR family and the nepotism and all that. I keep hearing a lot of analysis about how KCR refused to change his MLAs and there was this anti-incumbency against MLAs. I think all that is so much hogwash. No MLA,
Yeah.
no elections are fought on whether an MLA is strong or weak.
Yeah.
It's always the party that wins or loses, right? And in this case, it is the Congress went for the jugular. They did not say this MLA is bad and that MLA is bad. There was no attack on MLA. The attack was clear, crisp, fantastic, pointed, and relentless. Right? And it is that is where the Karnataka parallel happens in this election. It's the Karnataka formula they applied. So if you want to ask what Karnataka formula is, Hampi is an expert
I
in
think
it.
the key word that you said is killer instinct, because even when in other states, like for instance, Chhattisgarh, Congress had a very great hope with regard to kind of, how they're going to win and all, but they didn't have the kind of killer instinct. Killer instinct in when you're basically playing for broke. You're like,
Exactly.
either this or bust kind of attitude. They had that attitude in Telangana. And I
But
think
in
whoever
other
has,
states, I don't think so. That was the
no,
thing
they had,
which we should.
No, let's not get to. We'll go to the other
Yeah.
states later. Let's first, because we are
Yeah, Telangana, SoSouth.
Karnataka, Tak, and SoSouth. Let's first concentrate because this is not a small incident. This is an event. This is an event that will have a very a lot of things in the south of
Southern
India
part of India.
and the rest of India, right?
Yeah.
About BJP and Congress and what happens in 24. So let's first kind of stick to where we
The South,
belong. Yeah,
yes,
this
yes.
is so south. So
Yeah.
let's zero in there first. So the victory is very very critical for the Congress. It is the second state that they are
Yeah, after Karnataka,
after
in 6 months,
Karnataka.
in fact.
Yeah. So if you look at it, it's phenomenal. But my worry would be on the numbers. If they had crossed 70, 75 and all that, it would be it's like Karnataka.
Yeah,
You
stable.
wouldn't then think in terms of whether they will be able to hold government for long or not, right? And what Karnataka has already taught us or shown is that even at 137 seats in a 238, how much
35,
is
36. One,
36? Yeah.
yeah.
So even with that kind of a victory, the government is pretty unstable. There's already talk in terms of whether DK will be coming in before the elections, the Lok Sabha elections, or
Yeah.
will replace Siddaramaya. Will Siddaramaya be there or not? All kinds of internal strife is very clear in Karnataka.
Yes.
Right? So I foresee something like that could happen in Telangana for the simple reason that the numbers are pretty what you call close to majority.
Yes.
They might end up maybe with 5 or 6 more, right? So I think that is where Congress should be worried for some time. I say that because there are certain things that will play out, especially after 2024 elections, that might have an impact on even in Karnataka,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Telangana. So since they don't have the comfort of great numbers, I don't know about how stable it will be. Right? There could be already there is talk about whether it should be Revant Reddy. If you ask me, it's a
No-brainer.
no brainer. He should be the guy.
Yes.
Right? But there is an element of backward politics that Rahul himself has kind of taken it to some pinnacle, right? Talking
Yeah.
about jitni abadi, utni haq and all that, and
Yes.
caste census, BCs are being completely overlooked. And look at BJP; it has only 90 secretaries in the whole of India. How are you then going to give it to a Reddy, which is a absolutely the forwardest of all forward castes in Andhra,
Yes.
Telangana, right?
Yes.
I
Reddies
think
and
that is
Kammas
where,
are the major parties.
yeah, so that is where I think the backward leaders, strong backward leaders in Telangana Congress might fancy themselves. And if there is a, what do you call, gathering, if they can gather enough numbers, then Revant Reddy might come under pressure, even if he becomes chief minister now for some time. I see some amount of possibility for kind of
But
regrouping.
do you see a kind of parallel scenario playing out like what we are seeing in Karnataka? Not just the DK Siddharamaiah thing. There is also demand for three deputy CMs, each representing each caste. Something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I think. See, the thing is that now, as I said, Congress itself has kind of driven, because of trying to do a certain kind of politics nationally, they
Yeah.
have now driven themselves into a corner, both in Karnataka and in Telangana now,
Telangana.
because Karnataka already, the Dalit, there's demand for
Dalit
Dalit
also.
chief ministers, there's
Muslim chief minister.
Muslim chief minister, and backward to already has,
OBC
right?
to already has.
So you have created a situation where you are now giving hopes to a whole lot of other people. Telangana also will have similar, yeah, what do you call, similar runway there.
So what do you think? Like, is this win for the Congress? Like, how is it gonna be impactful for Congress? Because they have lost there, and they are occupying the southern seats, and it being a national party and holding the horse in the second place, the second state here in the south. How's it gonna
Well,
be play
honestly,
out?
I would start by saying that it's a consolation prize in the larger elections. But I think what Congress should really be worried about right now is that now with this election, Telangana is also turning out to be a national party territory. So, so you have a BRS which is down in the dumps right now. They will take time to recover, and they don't have time to recover because the elections are going to come in like the next 6 months or 4 months or 5 months. We don't know. So if you have a BJP inside Telangana, which is resurgent, you can see that they're getting almost like 10 seats from the one seat they got last time. So as data tells us unanimously that whenever the direct fight is between Congress and BJP, we all know who wins, regardless of the state.
Yeah. So I'll just structure it. What he has said, he's covered everything. I'll say let's first talk about what it means for the Congress itself in the south
Yeah.
of India. Right. I don't like to say South India. I like to say south of India rather than South India. Right? So what does it mean for the Congress? It's pretty is going to last long. I have questions. I'll tell you why. Good news is because this is the second state, and in a when is Kerala going to election? 25. 25. So by 25, you might have a situation where there is three governments that Congress has in the south of India, and that's the start. And it's happening after I don't know, God knows how long, right? So that is very good for the Congress.
How about the influence of it on the other Telugu speaking state, Andhra Pradesh?
Yeah, that's where that's a good question in the sense that everybody immediately thinks that, see, because the impact that Karnataka had on Telangana, everybody is assuming that
The same
the,
impact.
the Telangana election will have the same impact on Andhra. But Andhra is a different ball game. I think at least for one more election, it's going to be very tough to dislodge.
Also, in Andhra, the Jagan's opposition is TDP and Janasena.
TDP.
Congress is not
So
exactly in the
Congress
picture.
is still not even the third party.
Yeah.
It's TDP, Janasena, BJP,
Then Congress, yeah.
Right? So it's number 5 in Andhra. So I do not see any great impact on Andhra happening for the at least for the next election, and also not for 2024, right? So that is Congress. So it's clearly I don't think we should dilute their victory by what you call for the present by saying it might not last. But what I'm trying to say is that right now at this moment is fantastic. It's I think they pulled a really a rabbit out of the hat, right?
Absolutely.
It's definitely that. There's no undermining that.
Because in the past 3 or 4 months before, they were number three, and now a couple of months, what I have gone through, like they were number two maybe in 2 or 3 months, and now you already have ousted a party which had run like for
It's
two
almost like
majorities.
physically the election team of Congress physically shifted the border from Bangalore to Hyderabad, and it's almost like the wave they carried along with them,
Exactly.
because nobody really spoke about a Congress coming back to Telangana, or even like KCR being unseated by anybody. It
Exactly.
was a given that BRS is going to come back to power.
So he used a nice term. They carried this, not just the momentum. They also realized the why you should give it to the Congress for winning Telangana is that they saw an opportunity after they won Karnataka
Karnataka.
that here something with guarantees has worked. Otherwise, it was all Modi with his beneficiary schemes. At that time, there was no guarantees. It was Modi's this scheme and that scheme, the
Yes.
what you call
Bharosa,
LPG and
Bharosa,
water
Bharosa.
and yeah, Bharosa and all that. But Congress came up with, I think it is their, maybe it is, you can put it down to Sunil
Sunil.
maybe. I don't know who gave them that idea that it should be guarantees, right? So they came up with these guarantees, and immediately after winning Karnataka, they ensured, I think it was clear in their mind that if we do implement these as quickly as possible, we have a 6 month runway before Telangana elections, then we can crow in Telangana about how great we are and how good we are and how we stand by what we do. And that kind of worked in Telangana, especially in the border areas. You know how in the border areas they have
Yes,
done
19
really well,
constituencies
right?
altogether, and the southern Telangana region,
Yes,
which was all BRS infested last time,
yes.
has been taken over by Congress
Yeah,
entirely.
that's because very simple. Across the border, there are people who are getting free rides, free money. Graduates are getting money. All kinds of things are
It's
happening
percolating inside also, I think.
just across the border, and I'm sure there are a lot of two-way traffic.
And the kind of absolute irony is that BRS until recently were planning to cash in on their welfare schemes. Suddenly, somebody beat them in their own game.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the
So
Krushi one.
this was there was no way the Congress guarantees could have beaten the BRS already given guarantees, already delivered welfare schemes. That is where, while they knew that the guarantees were working in the border areas, they went for the jugular. They went for the kill. They had the killer instinct to go after the first family of that state, and actually highlight the fact that BRS, INM, and BJP were playing on the same side. I think that worked. That is the brilliance of the Congress strategy. It's not a flash in the pan. That's what I'm trying to say. But there are riders.
I think it
Yes.
also helped that Revant Reddy is a very aggressive leader himself. He doesn't shy
Like just
away.
like DKS here, I
Yeah,
think
he's a
we
very
have been
aggressive
comparing
leader.
both the leaders, the way they
It's a
campaign, the
lesson
way they
also for
take over.
larger Congress campaigns in any state. When you have a chance, you have to really go for the juggler, because election is not this mohabbat ki dukan business and all. Beyond a point, like it's not a elections are a very brutal game, especially in
Yes.
modern day India. So unless and until you have that killer instinct and you convince the voters that you are here to win, not to participate or not to perform, that is very crucial.
Uh,
So, will you tell our Kannada viewers that apologies that we are doing this in English?
yeah.
Tell them that we will be doing this again for their benefit
Yes, certainly.
in Kannada.
ಇದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮುಗಿದ ಕೂಡ್ಲೇನೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ತೆಲಂಗಾಣ ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ BRS ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನ್ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟು ದ ಸೌತ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಎರಡನೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ right after this one.
So,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
before I go to BRS,
Hmm.
I would like to ask you, like, did Congress skew on his guarantees? Because there was a lot of backlash also once they started the governance in Karnataka.
Mhm.
So the first set of things were like the development wala
Correct.
cheese, like
Correct. So they were clever. They didn't let that sink in into into the psyche of the Telangana voters. Only here in Bangalore, we understand that this government has actually bitten off more than it can chew in terms of the guarantees. Right? It's going to have an impact on governance is clear. Right? How many big projects has this government announced in 6 months? Apart from, yeah, they did a great job in kickstarting all the schemes or
yeah,
guarantees,
guarantee.
but beyond that, what? Right? So that, once again, cleverly, or it is the failing of either BJP or BRS and others, they could not really say, boss, they are driving the
They couldn't read into it.
yeah, they're driving ground governance to the ground in Karnataka, right? So it's not a great model. 1 year later, what is going to happen in Karnataka? They should have actually kind of projected to say this is what is happening in Karnataka. With the guarantees that Congress is promising, see what's happening in Karnataka. Nobody did that. They just mentioned it here and there, but they did not really take it to a peak level to make
See,
people
also
understand.
there is this inherent conundrum with welfare politics and freebies in a way, because people look at only one aspect: are the freebies being implemented? Are you getting the benefit of it? Now, when you look at Karnataka, the issues are somewhere else. I don't think there is an issue with the freebies. The issues are with no lack of money for development funds, MLAs complaining they don't have money. Government itself admitting that doesn't have money for say a certain period kind of thing. From when you look at from the perspective of Telangana campaign, no, none of these really kind of affects for them. It's like a new bunch of guarantees being offered. Are we going to get that or not? And state finances and all come later. So that's how it usually works.
So the challenge to the Karnataka Congress government will not come from BJP so much as it will come from within. The her own Congress's own MLAs are really, 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 really dispirited because there's no development money.
Yes.
One is that it's not nice to say on television that development works are one of the ways they make money, which means that we are actually legitimizing that kind of a thing. So I don't like to say it, but that's one of the realities. There's no development, nobody else is making money. Worse, there's no development happening also. So sooner or later, this will catch up with the MLAs. MLAs will be more and more like fish out of water, right? That pressure will build up. It's already building up. Within 6 months, if a government with 137 MLAs has so many controversies that the central Surjewala had to come multiple times to say, no, don't do this, don't say that, we will gag you, we will do this. That should not have happened in a healthy, governed state.
Yes.
Right? The second, what do you call, problem for this government internally is this entire caste thing.
Yeah.
I'm leaving DK out of it completely because DK, if you ask me, DK was the rightful inheritor of this victory. He didn't get a shot at it. He's already kind of fuming. And now, if you want DK to keep going to every other place and save governments, now he's there in Telangana to try and save BJP and BRS from poaching their MLAs.
Yes.
If that is what you want out of DK every time, and how long are you going to keep him away from chief ministers within his own state?
Yes.
So he's going to make his demands very quickly. That is one big thing anyway. And then you're given the why not a Muslim, why not Dalit, why not
And the
tribal.
caste survey and everything
So
else.
the problems for Congress in Karnataka will come from within. And if BJP by this time maybe it will be able to take advantage of it. Yeah, that's my analysis of Congress and what it means for the Congress.
Yep. Let's move on to the second party now, which was ruling for 10 years and also has aspirations of becoming a national party, trying to get into Maharashtra and everywhere. The BRS.
Yeah.
What is it for BRS now? What will it be for BRS?
I think for the time being, it will have to go back to TRS, to being TRS in that sense. Because one, we don't know exactly what kind of information was behind that kind of renaming. because it didn't click with anyone. Probably it would have only helped in alienating further the population of Telangana, because Telangana identity is a very strong identity, because if you remember the agitation for separate state, it was a very vicious agitation towards the end of it. There was no love lost between two sets of people who speak the same language, pretty much share the same culture. So this BRS, I think the problems probably started with the renaming, and I think it's a matter of purely a matter of overconfidence. Everybody had taken it for granted they are coming back to power, because truth be told, the administration was pretty good. They managed to build up a brand Hyderabad, which everybody was talking about. I mean, pretty much you can find so many comparisons between a kind of a Bangalore on the wane and Hyderabad on the up and all. So people assume that there is not much of an election happening. Now everything changed all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think for the BRS, it's they're the weakest right now.
Yeah.
This is completely unimaginable. We couldn't have thought of this 3 months ago, right? But I think we missed the signals. Though it's been said in various different ways, I think the first signal that the BRS was not confident or on a shaky wicket was Bandi Sanjay's removal. How are they connected? It's obvious. I think somewhere, why did BJP play along with BRS? Right? Why did they ease out Bandi Sanjay? Bandi Sanjay was really effective, right? He, in a sense, is the Annamalai of BJP in Andhra. He should have been, Telangana, and he should have been kept going, right? And BJP. BRS was weak. Why was BJP trying to prop it up? Why did they then not go for the kill and say, okay, you're weak, then we'll take it away from you? I think two things there. BJP was not fully confident that they can trounce BRS. It didn't have it in them to think at that level, right? I think if they had thought of it, maybe Congress wouldn't have had such an easy pass.
In fact, the conversations actually went on from BRS versus BJP to BRS versus Congress.
Exactly, pretty quickly. And the cutoff point was Bandi Sanjay's removal. After that, it became very clear that BJP was, if nothing else, BJP was confused, right? The BJP was confused was good enough for Congress to move in, and they moved in brilliantly. So that was the first instance for us. Why did BJP do this? BJP is, I think, also not completely confident yet about 2024 and how especially the Rajya Sabha would look like, right? So if they were not sure that BRS would win this, right, then Congress would take it away, and they would have not only another Congress government in another southern state of India, but the equations in Rajya Sabha would also change, right? So I think that is why they said it's better for us to stop. We will deal with Andhra later. For now, just pull back, try to get BRS passed. So they wouldn't have liked Congress to take over. See, BJP, mind you, will work for, at some point in time, making at least 2-3 governments in the south. Karnataka, anyway, it has.
To put what you are saying, like for BJP, it's not about who is fighting against, but to come into power.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I think that's the first signal that even BRS must have realized that at that point, around that time, BRS would have kind of seen that the wind was not blowing in its direction, right? And they were actually facing headwinds, right? So I think that was the turning point. Like in cricketing analogy, that's the turning point of this election. And so now that they have actually lost an election, which was thought to be theirs, right?
Theirs for taking, in fact.
Yeah, for the taking. Now they will be at the weakest. This is a blow they wouldn't have, even till today, even the last vote is kind of counted, they will still hope some miracle will happen. And
Kavita,
once,
in fact, said after 3 hours of things, when we were seeing them losing on vote share and other things, Kavita still said it's still time,
Still
and we are not losing it. We are still
Yeah.
gaining it.
Yeah, that's standard.
So what do you think about, like, the generational shift that has to happen in BRS in that sense?
Yeah.
Do you think somebody like KTR has that kind of public influence that KCR has?
He would match up. Definitely not. He's not KCR. See, KCR uh, uh, is a phenomenal speaker in Telugu. The guy has, and he has his own mannerisms and idiosyncrasies and others, and he can make you take you to splits in a public speech, or even when he is in press conferences with others. His communication skills, I didn't know when he was a central leader in Andhra, in Delhi, minister. We didn't know this side of him, but the moment he became chief minister, the kind of speeches, how he holds an audience together, that is very tough for KTR. KTR, I still think, is a very good administrator. A whole lot of good that happened in terms of the IT and the expansion and the giving it this modern tick, the entire government, right? I think that he did very well. But can he win an election on his own is a very, very big question. I don't think he's ready for that yet. He'll have to do the Jagan route. He'll have to undertake this huge 4 5 years of real hard work. He's not bad. What he started doing, his father can be pretty uncouth. He actually mouths a whole lot of profanities in Telugu, right? uh, KTR was not that for a long time, but in the last 1 year or so, he started trying to imbibe that kind of a vocabulary from his father. So he's trying. He knows that this is what sells on the street. He's much more of a manager. It's yeah. He's more of a administrator than a politician, right? So I think he's trying to gain that, but it'll take time. He has a good. He's good in Hindi. He speaks good Telugu. He speaks good English, but he's still not quite the communicator and the mass leader that his father is. And now that this has happened, what today tells you is that another state in the south of India will actually become the battleground for two national parties.
Yes.
Right. I think BJP thinks I know BJP thinks that they missed a trick when Jayalalitha died, and there was an opportunity in Tamil Nadu to kind of break into the Dravidian politics, but they always said that the Congress is not up to it. It's a great time for national parties to do something, but they were too weak. BJP was too weak. It would have taken a long time for BJP to actually do what Congress could have done, because Congress has a history there. Of course, it's not been there since 60s, whatever. But I think that is what will happen now. There are two very clearly. This will become an election. The elections that are coming, which is 2024 and beyond, whenever the next election happens, it is quite likely that BRS will be the third party. It will be Congress, BJP, BRS. It's not anymore BRS. Who else? Right? Else, yeah. So it's now BRS is now relegated to place 3. Right. So that's what is significant for BRS. It's a much weaker party. The halo is gone. Right. There's no halo around it now, and you never know. See, Revanth Reddy is not known to be pretty kind on rivals, right? So you never know what's coming. And if you look at Jagan Reddy and the politics of Andhra and Telangana, it can be pretty vicious. Yeah. So you never know how many cases there will be there on them. So they'll be fighting cases for a long time. Right? And it definitely changes the dynamic for 2024, which we will talk about later.
In the coming
yeah.
Yeah. So BJP has won a lot in the north and in the south. Although it looks like it's a party number 3, but it has gained ground in Telangana. What is it for BJP for Telangana
in this election? You take the first.
Telangana basically, I mean, they should take heart that they had the tally went from one seat to almost 10 seats. Yeah. And the most interesting thing is we're just getting into the studio, we're watching that in Kamaradi, the man who won is a BJP candidate, defeating both Revanth
and the sitting chief minister.
So that's like some kind of achievement. So I think, in a sense, like we have to see how BRS goes from here, because these are not really exactly cadre-based, ideology-based parties, and BRS could, for all we know, kind of slowly wind up. We don't know. So BJP with all its might and resources and power, I know they could, like, Bandi Sanjay will make a comeback now. It's very sure, absolutely certain.
They'll move very strongly.
Yeah. So I think we will get to know a lot in the 2024 elections. And anyway, they already have 4 Lok Sabha seats from Telangana, which was a surprise last time also. They could definitely improve on that one, because by 4th or 5th month, as we see in Karnataka right now, there could be a anti-incumbency sentiment in Telangana itself against the ruling Congress government, because the way things are going.
Yeah. And without Bandi Sanjay leading the campaign, their vote percentage has gone up to, maybe they'll end up between 16 and 18. I think.
Yes.
It is a pretty healthy one, which actually
better than the previous one.
Yeah.
2018 it was
many times, I
minuscule,
suppose.
yes.
Many times over. So what it means is that if Sanjay had been there, maybe this could have been a different election. Maybe that's where BJP missed a trick by thinking that they didn't have enough confidence. See, BJP is never short of confidence, right? In this
why
case,
do you think that confidence was lagging there? Like,
it's
because
no, they're unsure. They're unsure of South of India. Whenever, other than Karnataka now they know how to fight elections. It's okay. They have lost an election, fine, the recent one. But Karnataka, they know. They've played the game. But in the rest of South, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra and Telangana, they're unsure even today.
I think apart from Karnataka, the general strategy is to play it safe. Try to work with allies, have them more seats, identify your principal opponent, the Marxists in Kerala, the DMK in Tamil Nadu, likewise kind of thing. And then who more is kind of adjustable to you, work with them. Because South India, in that sense, I think BJP leadership, they have just still kept it as a long-term project.
Exactly. So what it will have, I think one of the questions you asked is what impact it will have on the rest of South India.
Yes.
One we discussed, which is Andhra Pradesh. I do not see. I'm not an authority on these things. Nobody can be. We all only kind of put 2 and 2 and see where things go. I don't think immediately this will change anything in Andhra Pradesh, right? But what it changes is in Tamil Nadu, Annamalai is already a very strong leader, right? He has a following now, right? And this good showing in Tamil Nadu, in Telangana, will have a certain ring in Tamil Nadu. Does it convert to votes and others is too early to talk about. But I think now BJP will smell something in the south of India other than Karnataka. Okay, now we have an opening. This and more all the time, it is you just have to leave the door slightly ajar for BJP, then they're slightly open, right? They will throw it ajar. They'll throw it open. So I think they have smelled their chance in the south of India with this. Now they will take their campaign in Tamil Nadu much more seriously. Then now they will, whether it is ADMK, if ADMK wants to align with them, they'll go with ADMK, or they will say, get lost, let's try and make it on our own. They will go for the jugular in Tamil Nadu. Works, doesn't work. See, the other thing about BJP is whether they know they are losing an election or whether they are winning an election, they will not stop. They will do whatever they need to do. They will not leave anything to chance. That is one of the reasons why they tied up with BRS for this.
Yes.
Because they are not taking a chance for 2024. That I think is not a great strategy. They should have actually gone headlong into this in Telangana. But what it has shown is Telangana that they are not pushovers anymore. They are growing. People are listening to them. They are making contact. That confidence Telangana would have given them, because from 1 to 9 or 10 or wherever they end up is a very good showing. And they know more than all of us that it could have been so much better. And they withdrew from this race, right? So that should tell you that the BJP has, it's like a tiger that smelled, tasted blood. The blood. I think that they've tasted blood in, leave Karnataka out, the because Karnataka is an
Karnataka is
old
old
case.
already,
Yeah,
another
it's an
5
old
years.
case. They keep coming, going. So Karnataka is not new. The rest of South, they have no clue what to do. But I think they have made a breakthrough in the rest of the South. This would give them a lot of confidence. You agree with that?
Yeah. Now it's also a matter of kind of taking the principal opposition space, no?
Yeah.
You with all you might have only like 1/4 of the numbers of the principal opposition party, but that doesn't stop you from trying.
Yeah.
And you have all the central agencies at your behest. A lot of things work in your favor. So once you do that kind of performance, and naturally you're like in the next elections you're up there, primed up there.
Yeah.
What do you think is the impact of the Lok Sabha? That it's right there. Like another 3-4 months, anyone and everyone will be throwing their hat in the like.
So there are Lok Sabha. First, I think let's discuss what will be the impact in the south of India first, and then we will take it to the
Correct.
national level. I think, as I said earlier, BRS is now at its weakest. From here, for a party like BRS, which is so central, so just the family, even within the family, only KCR, right? He was the glue. That confidence is shaken, right? For that confidence to return, 4 months is too little time, right? As I said, they'll be going to courts and cases and lawyers and all that. That's a distinct possibility, right? So for them to regroup and say, okay, this happens in politics, let's forget everything and go hammer and tongs for Lok Sabha, they might do it, but I suspect they'll be successful, because now they are seen as I said, a weak party. It can be broken. The halo is gone. Unbeatable KCR.
The confidence is broken.
Yeah.
Obviously,
the backbone is broken, right? And so I'm seeing a Lok Sabha election where it will be more Congress and BJP, right? So that should light up the BJP's, like Thampi said, that should light up BJP's eyes. Okay. Wow, this is great. They always want a Congress versus BJP fight. That anyway at a national level too. So this is going to happen in Telangana. What is important there is that they've already primed Telangana.
Yes.
Now Modi will be a much bigger factor in Telangana than if BRS were a very strong party for a Lok Sabha election, right? So in Telangana, if they were hoping, there were 4 seats, right, in Telangana. If they were hoping that, okay, let's hope to catch up or maybe make 6, now they will say nothing less than 14.
Yes.
That's how BJP operates. So they'll say, oh, if this is it, and if you can sell Modi's name, which is not the most difficult thing to do, as you can see, they will now fancy themselves as the favorites for Lok Sabha elections in Telangana. It's a mindset thing. Now the confidence thing, that confidence they will have in Telangana. So that is something positive for BJP in Telangana. So you want to talk about how Telangana?
Generally, like if you ask me, I haven't really seen a very aggressive play by BJP in the south. So far, like we saw how BJP fought the Karnataka elections, it was almost like half-hearted in many ways. So the primary challenge of the BJP is to retain the number of Lok Sabha seats they won from Karnataka last time. Anything is a plus. Anything extra is a plus.
Yeah.
So I think that way, probably these elections, the Telangana figures might change the attitude. You might see a more aggressive BJP coming down. We don't know that. But if that is not the case, then it's a safe play for BJP, because whatever little 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 seats you might lose in Karnataka can be adjusted from here and there. And as we see the hinterland battle, it's pretty open field right now. Like parties like CPM, for instance, have been constantly complaining, like especially when Rahul Gandhi comes to Wayanad and contest, they've been constantly complaining that look, you have some 250 seats in North India where you are in a direct fight with BJP. Why don't you concentrate on there and defeat the BJP there and leave this to us? We are doing a good job here. But unfortunately, the Congress comes to the same areas, So that kind of thing is going to play out again and again. Because now if you take out probably Punjab and Bihar, now it's pretty much kind of entire BJP territory in that sense. Himachal, of course, is a small state anyway. So that is the kind of.
So by evening today, Modi and Amit Shah would have changed the targets for the Telangana. They would have increased it by at least 10 seats, saying no, nothing less than 14, or maybe they'll say all 19 to us. So that's
See, we forgot one thing. Like, see, we didn't speak about Congress clearly because Congress, it's not just about Congress now. It's about INDIA bloc as well.
yeah, we'll come to that.
So with winning only Telangana and losing the other three.
So yeah, that we'll keep it for when we discuss
Yeah.
the rest of the country. No? Yeah. So we still have to look at what impact. Will it have an impact on Tamil Nadu? I think if they were looking at one seat in Tamil Nadu, they'll once again say no. Minimum we should go for 10 and get at least 5. So
Yes.
that's what this election would have done to the BJP. They would now feel much more confident about breaching the southern wall, which has been a big problem for them. I think it is a confidence thing, and with Modi, when he is confident, see he can do wonders. Because
But what I think is like Congress winning Telangana has very little impact on the other southern states because Congress may have been a bit of a thing in the Kerala, but the other states it hardly matters. Like apart from Karnataka and Telangana. So if you look at the Lok Sabha elections, I don't think so. This mandate would actually have any favorable result for the other in the other states for Congress.
tough to say. I'd say the thing is that in politics, it's tough to kind of push anybody away. Even though we are saying BRS is at its weakest, who knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many times have we kind of written off people?
Yeah.
Congress in Andhra and Telangana, we written off Congress in 2014 when they lost both, and next two elections they didn't make any mark. But suddenly here you have their 63, not very comfortable, but 63 is
they're
a
still
huge
there, yes.
number. They're there, they're back, right? In Telangana, they're back.
So the game is all about this last 3 or 4 months in this election. That has happened.
Yeah, it's that's now. See, that's what is the window it has opened for 2024 in the rest of the country. So
The inherent contradictions in the India alliance plays out more in south than in the north, probably. Because look at a state like Kerala, like it's basically India versus India.
correct.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation kind of thing. So in Tamil Nadu, we know. So it's basically like since they're alliance partners, so it's less complex than in Kerala because Kerala they're opposition.
They will give them Kanyakumari.
Because they're close to the BJP. Now the thing is that the kind of defeat that Congress has had in the Hindi heartland makes obviously their position in the helm of the India alliance weaker. So your bargaining strength has suddenly come down all of a sudden. So in a state like Tamil Nadu now, it's a DMK's decision whether to give them a seat, give them 1 seat, 2 seats. You're not in a position to bargain anything.
Yeah.
And DMK, as we know, as of now, as things stand, it's the most powerful potent political force in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
And then the rest, like Andhra, I don't think there is much of a chance for Congress there. Apart from because Jagan is kind of unofficially as a kind of an ally of BJP. We all look at him like that.
No, in fact, they actually spoke about it. Both the sister and brother. Telangana was left to the sister.
As they say, the
She
Congress
was set
in
to align with
the Congress in Andhra is by SRCP.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it is that. So Thampi is right. See, the much was said about this India bloc and what a great thing it was. That from the beginning there was a what do you call one gene missing in the in the DNA, right? It didn't quite make sense because I think Amit Shah used to point this out. Okay, an alliance of the opposition will be an alliance only if you are saying, okay, I'm weak here, so you don't come here, and I will allow you.
It's a patch up and
Unless that India bloc gets down to each constituency and there is a tie-up there, it means nothing. Otherwise, it's one esoteric concept of India, right? So with that contradiction was kind of stitched into its birth and its DNA, right? But Congress made it worse. Yeah. How did it make it worse? It had these 2-3 great meetings, right? Then these elections came in.
By the way, they are gonna meet on December 6th again.
Yeah. right? So that will be a very interesting meeting. So 2-3 meetings, and then they said we'll do this, we'll do that. Then Modi interrupted them with this women's he hijacked that entire Bombay meeting, right? They were supposed to come with seat arrangement promises and name and constitution and all that. Everything get left midway, right? Then Congress played this clever game on the rest of the alliance, which is that they saw an opportunity to retain Chhattisgarh. They thought they could retain, they'll win Madhya Pradesh big time, and they would also get Rajasthan. If they tried hard enough, they'd get Rajasthan and Telangana. If it was 4-0, or maybe Mizoram, we are not counting because they're neither of the national party will make down. No, it's not. Not that. See,
it's usually the smaller state.
No. I'm not. That's what I'm.
कभी शोला कभी साज है इनका कुछ अलग अंदाज है
पतंजलि केश कांति एडवांस हेयर ऑयल इन हंसती खिलती जुल्फों का राज.
So I'm saying 4-0. Congress thought if it could return an electoral result of 4-0, right? Then it would talk to the India alliance for 2024.
That's 65 seats, 83 Lok Sabha seats, which you're talking about.
No,
but all they had 140.
Yeah, whatever. No, what exactly in all this? No, that's not. You're only limiting it to these states. I'm saying that with these states, they would have, if they had 140 or even 3-1, they would have gone back to India alliance on that 6th December, being the undisputed single largest only party that could take the BJP. That would have been their sales pitch in December 6th meeting, right? So they were being clever. They stopped all discussion when they saw that there is a chance that we will win, and after this win we can get what we want, right? We don't have to give away too much, right? That now has very clearly turned into opportunism. Now people have seen the rest of the parties, like Akhilesh Yadav cried his heart out, saying that why are you not, if this is, then they said no, this is not for state assemblies, it's only for state elections, it's only for 2024. They were being too clever by half. So this is the result of the half.
Akhilesh wanted to have an alliance with Congress in Bundelkhand
You drove
the
him
early
away.
elections.
Yeah, you drove him away, right? So you didn't get it. Now, what is it? What is the picture? The picture is you are not a party in the north of India. Full stop. Right? For 2024, definitely what you thought did not happen. So how are you now going to go on December 6th and say, well, we are the largest party, we are a national party, and we are the only ones which can take BJP. Now, when they ask Akhilesh Yadav, out of those 400 seats, let us split 200, give us 200, you take 200, he's going to laugh in their face. Quite simply, right? Similarly, Lalu and Nitish, who are a little more gentler to the Congress, they will also say, but why should we give you any seats at all?
Even the leadership of the India bloc is also coming up for stake, because the JDU minister in fact said Nitish Kumar would be a better person to lead the bloc rather than you guys.
See, that is the second aspect. First we discuss the party thing, then the leader will come to the leader aspect.
A leader of India bloc, well, it makes only so much sense. It's the dynamics of the India bloc which are now being completely destroyed by the Congress's opportunism.
Yes.
They thought that if we did this and we are in a better position, then we will go. Now the BJP has pulled the rug under the India alliance space. Yeah.
So even in the last elections, last Lok Sabha elections, there are kind of complaints that, from the allies that the hit rate of the Congress candidates in North India is much less compared to the allies candidates, so to speak. So there was this lot of resistance that a lot of parties face with regard to giving tickets to Congress candidates in many, and that is going to worsen now with regard to the performance that we have seen so far.
See, it's a huge crisis for the Congress in terms of the rest of India. South, you can feel great. It's a good performance, but most seats are there. You can win let's say they take all of Telangana LS seats, right? Andhra, they have no. In let's say they also take all of Karnataka seats, but the rest of India, you're not there. So, are you even going to get cross your 54? Is a question now. Yeah. Earlier, you were all saying, we were all thinking, okay, Congress 150, 120, then it will become the largest party. Then few people can come and like they did with 144. UPA 1 was 144, if I remember right. Yeah, UPA 2 was 208, right? So even if for Congress to cross 100, where do you how do you see that happening? So then how are you going to be the largest party? Then how are you going to have any purchase power with your India alliance guys? So it's a crisis that has deepened for the Congress party if you do not consider that, if you look at the picture for the entire India, larger India. You're limited now. You've almost become they could like you were saying, the INC could now be called SINC.
No, this is the today's the challenge that today's results pose to not just Congress, the India Alliance is not just one with regard to kind of what we discuss right now with regard to what happens now in the large vast northern hinterland, which decides who will rule India. And second is the kind of leadership challenge. Suddenly the leader party is not exactly leader material anymore, because everybody was expecting some kind of a better result. At least, if they had got Chhattisgarh, it would have been face saving. And three, and most important, is the issue that India Alliance in the leadership of Congress has been putting forth as their main issue in these elections, which is caste census and OBC empowerment. Now that has pretty much, the results show that doesn't have that traction. Because a lot of people have been saying it hasn't backfired. See, the thing is that it's nothing new. These are issues that's been there for the last 30-40 years. Social engineering is not a new thing. The thing is that from 2014 onwards, the larger ambit of religion that Modi put forward basically papered over a lot of these kind of differences. And those are still not exactly becoming issues anymore. That is what these results show. So that is a crisis for the India Alliance. Now you'll have to, completely redraw your plan. That is, if the alliance has to stay together.
Yeah. See, what is working for state governments is that whole lot of them, like in Karnataka, for example, a lot of women voted for the Congress, right? In Telangana, also a lot of women voted for the Congress. So in states, earlier, your only discussion would be caste, communal and caste. Now, and a constitution of women has been added. Who added that? Narendra Modi added that right from the way he's practiced his politics from 2014. The constituency of women is not a creation of Congress in this election or the earlier election. It is a creation of Narendra Modi. After 2014, when he came, those 5 years he set the basis of his future elections. These beneficiaries, how to get women on board, how to get the poor on board, how to this entire thing of financial inclusion, everything. He set that bottom, the what you call the foundation was those 5 years. So he created the women constituency. From there, it's a credit to the Congress that in Karnataka they realized that no, this is the way to handle Modi. He has created a very strong constituency of women, poor, Dalits, backwards, everybody. It's that constituency then doesn't distinguish between castes and others, right? Diversity. Yeah. So he created that a bank. Then Congress realized, okay, this is the way to hit Modi. So cleverly, as I said earlier, they came up with this guarantee thing. What Modi used to say, freebies and Revdi and others, they nicely coined this Congress guarantee. That worked. Yeah. That also worked, luckily for them and stupidly for BJP, because there was a government that was listless. There was a leader who didn't have a face, right? There was a leader who corruption charges. No, see, the thing is that a leader has to have a presence. Bombay didn't have a presence in Karnataka, right? So I think that it's so, as much as BJP laws as Congress is gay, but Congress was clever in latching on to, okay, this is how you create a constituency. So in Karnataka now, you have in the state, I'm saying,
Yeah.
They have the women as the constituency. In Telangana now, they may create that constituency. But that constituency at a national level so far is dictated to and owned by Modi.
Yeah, and
Right?
it's
In a
a
national
bigger
election.
task for them to do in
In a
these
national
format.
election, in a national election, they will align with Modi. That's what has been happening, right? So that is where I think the what do you call the BJP will take heart. Okay, इसमें if you look at the overall picture in the three states, the Congress did exactly the Karnataka model everywhere.
Yeah.
The same promises were made, everything was made. They didn't work there. Right? Why didn't they work there? They didn't work there because there the Modi guarantee outsold the Congress guarantees.
Yeah.
There the presence of Modi, this huge what do you call
Megalomani.
yeah. Huh? No,
Not
that I wouldn't
megalomani.
say.
Larger than life. Larger than life.
Yeah, larger than life.
I
Yeah,
put
yes,
it
this
in a-
larger than life image, that is an overhanging image of Modi in the Hindi belt.
Yeah.
I think there it worked. In Telangana, why it didn't work? In the south of India, we know that people like him, but in the south of India for state election, he's still not a complete mover of votes, right? But I think after this election, even in the south, he will have much more presence in the 2024 election, especially with women voters. So Congress has kind of the crisis for Congress is how do you do what you have done in Karnataka and Telangana in the rest of India? And unfortunately for them, they don't have enough time. It's almost over now. It's just gin ke 4 mahina hai.
Yeah.
You know, so that is what is 2034.
To close the entire conversation, if you have any closing comments which you want to make.
Trumpy is very good at closing comments.
It's easy.
Yeah.
If you look at the larger picture, the kind of guidelines we are getting right now, it's like it's the tremendous boost of confidence that BJP would have had after today. That is the whole key takeaway in that sense, because most of these elections are now becoming increasingly presidential, especially Lok Sabha and all. So in that sense, when actually you have stitched together an alliance with a lot of inherent contradictions, and then that you are not being able to test it. There is a pilot testing of everything, which they couldn't test in any of the state elections with regard to how strong you are against BJP. Which is a kind of, I think that was a strategic blunder that Congress has made, because you're going to test it for the first time in the big stage. Yeah. And you are actually on a very inherent weak wicket to test it. So that I think is a kind of strategic blunder. They should have, like we discussed in Madhya Pradesh and all, they should have gone with us SP alliance, so to speak. Congress has to show that kind of magnanimity because it can only help them. Unfortunately, the party strategists didn't think in those directions. So
I think I'm sure BJP is now kicking itself in its pants for not going for the BRS's jugular, right? Considering the kind of showing that
After BJP,
I think they would now have said, God, we missed the chance. We should have really gone for it and tested out. No, it would have been a Congress versus BJP if they had really put everything into. Yeah, I think that.
But that's now becoming some kind of a pattern for BJP in South India also. Yeah. Even in Karnataka, I'm sure with PM coming, Amit Shah coming, a lot of all those Jingbang came in the last time, last 2 weeks kind of thing. But before that, the basic groundwork that need to be done was not done. So I think when it comes to South India, BJP has the kind of it's not the same BJP as you see in North India.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of lack of confidence in how to approach.
Yeah. And for the rest of it, I think I operate out of Delhi. I sit in Delhi. So these days in Delhi, for most part of the day, you can't see anything because of the smog, right? 20 meters, 30 meters, the things are blurry, right? So in Delhi, on a fog day, when you have light rain or drizzle at night, the next morning when you wake up, you can see clearly, right? So to me, this election, not just Telangana, no, all these elections put together is that Delhi, a smoggy Delhi after rain. The path is clear. I can see the runway. I think 2024 is very clear. It's
for all the parties.
it's no for
From your vantage point, can you also see who's entering local
local and Mark. I don't think I have a doubt about it right now. See, it's clear. It's clear that BJP is the party to beat. What is not clear is there a party which can beat it, right? So will Congress now regroup in 4 months to become some kind of a super political being that it can take on Modi? Right now, from where we are, it doesn't seem like. Does India alliance add up to any strong game? We have discussed that. I think it's pretty much India alliance is a kind of a. It was never a great force. Now it is almost a spent force, right? December 6th, I don't know what will happen. They might make right noises, but I don't think they have enough time now. It's too. You're just one step more and there's a gorge. Yes.
Thank you for joining us. It was quite insightful of Telangana elections, about BRS, about what's going to happen in the south, the impact, and the Lok Sabha elections.
So now do a good job of capturing all what we discussed in Kannada for our Kannada audiences. Thank you.
Thank you.
ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬಿ ವಿ ರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ತಪ್ಪಿ ಅವರು ಏನೇನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇದೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಪಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ 5 ನಿಮಿಷದ ಅವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ತೆಲಂಗಾಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಾಗಿದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಯಾರು ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಅವರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅವರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆ ವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿ.
पर कमल का जिंदाबाद 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 जय जय श्री राम जय जय श्री राम जय जय श्री राम नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद भारत माता की जय भारत माता की नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद भारत माता की जय भारत माता की जय भारत माता की जय प्रचंड बहुमत से भाजपा सरकार जय श्री राम सोनिया को कांग्रेस की हो गया कांग्रेस की हो गया जय श्री राम जय श्री राम एक ही नारा एक ही नाम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम एक ही नारा एक ही नाम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम एक ही नारा एक ही नाम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम एक ही नारा एक ही नाम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम चप्पा चप्पा तैयारी चप्पा 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 तैयारी तिलक की करो तैयारी देखो देखो कौन आया शेर आया शेर आया जय जय श्री राम नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद 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 नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಜನಾದೇಶ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಮಗೆ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾದಂತಹ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ನನ್ನ ಕಲೀಗ್ ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕೂಡ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಈ ಕ್ಷಣದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ 164 ಕಡೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಲೀಡಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, 65 ಕಡೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಲೀಡಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಬಿಜೆಪಿ 164 ಕಡೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಇತರರು 1 ಕಡೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ 117 ಕಡೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾಗಾಲೋಟದತ್ತ ಗೆಲುವಿನ ನಾಗಾಲೋಟದತ್ತ ನುಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ 67 ಕಡೆ, ಅದರ್ಸ್ 15 ಕಡೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ತೆಲಂಗಾಣ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಕದ ತೆಲಂಗಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ BRS 40 ಸ್ಥಾನಗಳು, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ 63 ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ 8 ಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಛತ್ತೀಸ್ಗಢದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ 90 ವಿಧಾನಸಭೆಯ ಸಂಖ್ಯಾ ಬಲವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ವಿಧಾನಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ 56 ಕಡೆ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ 34 ಕಡೆ, ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಇತರರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಥಾನಗಳನ್ನ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯನ್ನ ಕಾಯ್ದುಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ 3 ಕಡೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಗೆಲುವಿನ ನಾಗಾಲೋಟದತ್ತ